Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there? It happens to all of us. You stand there, looking around, feeling a little silly. Usually, we just laugh it off. We say, "Oh dear, I must be getting old." But sometimes, deep down, there is a small seed of fear, isn't there? You wonder, is this normal aging? Or is this the start of something else? Something terribly frightening, like dementia or Alzheimer's disease? It is the biggest fear for so many of us in our sunset years. We fear losing our memories. We fear losing the stories that make us who we are. We fear becoming a burden to the people we love. We often think dementia is just bad luck, or maybe it's in our genes. And yes, those things are true. But what if I told you that your daily routine, the simple things you do every single day without thinking, could be increasing your risk? It's not just about forgetting to eat vegetables or not doing enough crossword puzzles. The biggest dangers are often the quiet habits, the ones that feel comfortable. Today, on The Sunset Years, we are going to tell a story. It might be a story that feels very familiar to you. And through this story, we will uncover the 5 unexpected mistakes that many seniors make daily, mistakes that quietly harm our brain health.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Sunset Years. If you are new here, this is a place where we talk honestly about getting older. We want to make these years happy, healthy, and full of life. Today, we are talking about a very serious topic, but we will do it in a gentle way. We are talking about brain health and dementia. Scientists are learning more every day. They are finding that the way we live our daily lives has a huge impact on our brains. To explain this, I want to introduce you to someone. Let's call her Eleanor. Eleanor is 74 years old. She lives alone in a nice little house. Her husband passed away about 5 years ago. Her children live in different cities, but they call her on weekends. Eleanor seems fine. If you met her at the supermarket, you would think, what a lovely lady. She's polite, she dresses neatly, she seems to be managing okay. But if we could spend a whole day with Eleanor, from the moment she wakes up until she goes to sleep, we would see some problems. We would see habits that feel safe to her, but are actually dangerous for her brain. Eleanor doesn't know she's making mistakes. She thinks she's just living a normal, quiet, retired life. Let's follow Eleanor through her day and discover the 5 hidden traps.
Our story starts in the morning. Eleanor wakes up. The house is very quiet. She makes her toast and tea. She sits at the kitchen table. There is one chair for her. The other chair is empty. This brings us to the first and perhaps the most damaging mistake: chronic loneliness and social isolation. Eleanor used to go out a lot more when her husband was alive. They had friends, they met for dinner, they went to club meetings, but now going out alone feels like too much effort. She thinks, why bother getting dressed up? It's just me. So she stays home. Days go by where the only voice she hears is the television. Why is this so bad for the brain? You have to understand that human beings are social creatures. We need other people to survive. Our brains are built to connect. When you have a conversation with someone, your brain is working very hard. Think about it. You have to listen to what they say. You have to understand their words. You have to look at their face and understand their emotions. Then you have to think of a response. This is like a complex workout for your brain. It uses many different parts of the mind all at once. When Eleanor sits alone in silence for days, her brain isn't getting that workout. Studies are very clear on this. When people are lonely for a long time, their brains actually change. Some studies show that parts of the brain related to memory begin to shrink. Loneliness also increases stress hormones in the body. This long-term stress causes inflammation, which damages brain cells. Eleanor doesn't feel stressed. She just feels a bit empty, a bit bored. But that quiet emptiness is slowly damaging her cognitive health. She thinks she is just being peaceful, but she is actually starving her brain of the connection it needs to stay strong.
After breakfast, Eleanor moves to the living room. She has a favorite armchair. It's very soft and comfortable. It sits right in front of the television. This is where we find the second mistake: extreme sedentary behavior. Now wait a minute, I know what you're thinking. Oh no, he's going to tell me to go to the gym. No, I am not talking about exercise here. Exercise is great, of course, but this mistake is different. This is about sitting. Eleanor loves her chair. It's her safe space. She sits down at 9 a.m. to watch the morning news shows, then a talk show comes on, then maybe an old movie. Before she knows it, it is 1 p.m. She has been sitting in that exact same spot for 4 hours. She hasn't stood up once. She might get up to make a sandwich for lunch, and then she goes right back to the chair until dinner time. Many seniors fall into this trap. Their bodies hurt a little bit. Maybe their knees are stiff. So sitting feels good. It feels safe. But here is the problem. Your brain is a very hungry organ. It needs a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients. These are delivered by your blood. When you sit for hours and hours without moving, your blood flow slows down everywhere in your body, including to your brain. Think of a hose watering a garden. If you kink the hose, the water stops flowing properly. When you sit all day, it's like kinking the hose to your brain. Research shows that people who sit the most have thinner areas in the parts of the brain that handle memory. For Eleanor, this comfortable habit is slowly suffocating her brain cells. She doesn't need to run a marathon. She just needs to stand up every hour, walk to the kitchen, water a plant. Just move. But the chair is too comfortable and the habit is too strong. While Eleanor is sitting in her chair watching TV, something else is happening. The volume on the television is very, very loud. If you knocked on her door, she probably wouldn't hear you. This brings us to the third unexpected mistake: ignoring hearing loss. Eleanor knows her hearing isn't what it used to be. When her daughter calls on the phone, Eleanor often has to say, "What? Can you repeat that, dear?" Eleanor gets frustrated. She thinks everyone else is mumbling. She thinks young people today just don't speak clearly. She refuses to get a hearing test. She thinks hearing aids will make her look old or feeble. She thinks they are too expensive or too fiddly to manage. So she just turns up the TV volume and avoids noisy places. This seems like a small annoyance, but it is a major risk factor for dementia. In fact, it is one of the biggest modifiable risk factors. That means it is a risk you can actually change. Here is why it matters. Hearing happens in your ears, but listening happens in your brain. Your ears collect sounds, but your brain has to translate those sounds into meaning. When Eleanor's ears aren't working well, the signals going to her brain are fuzzy. They are incomplete. Her brain has to work incredibly hard just to fill in the blanks. It has to guess what people are saying. Imagine trying to read a book where every third word is missing. It would be exhausting, wouldn't it? That is what Eleanor's brain is doing all day long. It is putting all its energy into just hearing. This means there is less brain power available for other things, like thinking, remembering, and storing new information. Over time, because her brain is working so hard just to hear, it gets tired. Furthermore, because she can't hear well, she stops talking to people. It's too embarrassing to keep asking, "What?" So she withdraws. This leads her right back to mistake number 1, social isolation. It's a vicious cycle. By ignoring her hearing loss to avoid feeling old, Eleanor is actually accelerating the aging process of her brain. Let's continue with Eleanor's day. It's now afternoon. She's still in her chair. The house is warm. The TV droning is hypnotic. Eleanor's head starts to nod. She falls asleep. She naps for about an hour and a half in the afternoon. When she wakes up, she feels groggy. Later that night, she goes to bed at 10 p.m., but she wakes up at 2 a.m. She needs to use the bathroom. Then she goes back to bed, but she can't sleep. She lies there worrying about things. Finally, she falls back asleep around 5 a.m., just before the sun comes up. This is the fourth mistake, accepting poor sleep as normal. Eleanor thinks this is just what happens when you get old. Old people don't sleep well, she tells herself. She accepts these broken nights and long daytime naps as her normal routine. But sleep is not just resting time for the body. It is absolutely critical cleaning time for the brain. During the day, your brain cells are working hard. Like any machine that works hard, they create waste products. You can think of it as brain trash. There are certain proteins that build up in the brain during the day. These proteins, like amyloid and tau, are the same ones that are found in high amounts in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. So how does the brain clean up this trash? It happens when you sleep. Specifically, it happens during deep sleep. When you are in a deep sleep stage, a special cleaning system in the brain kicks into gear. It's like a nightly cleaning crew that comes in and washes away the toxic proteins that built up during the day. But Eleanor isn't getting good deep sleep. Her long nap in the afternoon confuses her body clock, making it harder to sleep deeply at night. And when she wakes up frequently at night, she interrupts that cleaning cycle. Night after night, the trash isn't getting fully taken out. It slowly starts to build up. By accepting poor sleep as normal, Eleanor is missing out on the most important brain protection activity she can do. We have finally reached the evening of Eleanor's day. She has had a quiet dinner. Now she does what she does every single evening. She picks up the newspaper and does the crossword puzzle. She's very good at it. She usually finishes it in about 20 minutes. She feels proud of this. She thinks, I'm keeping my brain sharp with my puzzles. After the puzzle, she watches her favorite game show. She knows all the answers. Then she gets ready for bed in the exact same order she always does. This brings us to the fifth and final unexpected mistake. Getting stuck in a comfortable rut. Lack of novelty. Wait a minute. Isn't doing crossword puzzles good for the brain? Yes, it is. But there is a catch. Eleanor has been doing the same type of crossword puzzle for 20 years. She knows all the common words they use. It's no longer difficult for her. When she does the puzzle now, her brain is on autopilot. She isn't really challenging herself. This is the mistake of lack of novelty. The human brain is designed to learn. It thrives when it encounters something new. When you learn something completely new, like a new language, a new instrument, or even just a new card game, your brain has to build new connections between its cells. It's like building new roads in a city. The more roads you have, the better the traffic flows. This is called cognitive reserve. It means you're building up extra brain power. If some brain cells get damaged by age or disease, you have backup roads to use. Eleanor's routine is comfortable, it is easy, but it is not building any new roads. She cooks the same 5 meals because she doesn't need a recipe. She drives the same route to the store. She talks to the same 2 people on the phone about the same topics. Her life has become a very small, very predictable circle. When your brain knows exactly what is going to happen next, it gets lazy. It stops growing. Eleanor thinks she is being safe by sticking to her routine, but by avoiding new challenges, she is letting her brain's ability to adapt wither away.
So that is a day in the life of Eleanor.
It's a quiet day, a peaceful day. There is no drama. But do you see the hidden dangers? 1. The silence of isolation. 2. The stillness of the armchair. 3. The strain of untreated hearing loss. 4. The broken sleep that never cleans the brain. 5. The comfortable rut that offers no new challenges. These 5 things are not dramatic events. They are tiny habits, but repeated day after day, year after year, they compound. They create a perfect storm for cognitive decline. Eleanor isn't a bad person. She isn't lazy. She is just trapped in habits that she doesn't realize are harmful. Perhaps you saw a little bit of yourself in Eleanor's story. I know I did. It is so easy to slip into these comfortable patterns as we get older. But here's the good news, the very good news. It is not too late for Eleanor, and it is not too late for you. The brain is amazingly resilient. Even in our sunset years, the brain can change. It can grow new connections, but we have to give it the right environment. We don't need to revolutionize our whole lives overnight. We just need to make small shifts. If Eleanor called a friend for just 10 minutes a day instead of waiting for them to call her, she would break the isolation. If she stood up during every commercial break on TV and just walked around her sofa, she would restore blood flow. If she finally got those hearing aids, her brain could stop struggling to hear and start enjoying conversations again. If she stopped napping after 3 p.m., her nighttime sleep might improve, allowing the brain's cleaning crew to do its job. And if, instead of the crossword puzzle tonight, she tried to learn 3 phrases in Italian or tried a new recipe for dinner, she would spark new connections in her mind. Dementia is scary. We cannot control everything about it, but we have more power than we think. Our daily habits are powerful medicine. Let's not be like the Eleanor in the beginning of our story. Let's choose to break these quiet bad habits. Let's choose to keep our worlds engaged, active, and full of new things. Thank you for listening to this story today. I hope it made you think about your own daily routine. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, the thumbs up button. It really helps our channel grow and reach more seniors who need to hear this message. And if you want to join our community here at the Sunset Years, please click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We want you here with us as we navigate getting older together with honesty and hope. Share this video with a friend or a family member who you think might need a gentle nudge. Take care of yourselves and take care of your amazing brains. Until next time.